Every morning, your dog makes a decision. Before you've even opened your eyes, before the world has pulled you into its noise and obligations, they're already watching. Waiting. Measuring the distance between where they are and where you are. And in that silence, in that gap filled only with breathing and early light, something ancient happens. Your dog is checking, not for food, not for a walk. They're checking if you're still theirs, if they're still yours, if the invisible thread that ties your hearts together survived the night. Most people think dogs love everyone, that their loyalty is universal, spread thin across anyone who offers a kind word or a scratch behind the ears. But that's not how it works. Dogs don't love democratically. They choose. Deep in their bones, in the part of their brain that still remembers wolves and pack structure and survival, they select one person to orbit around, one heartbeat to synchronize with, one human who becomes more than an owner. You become their person. And when that happens, when a dog marks you as special, everything changes. The way they move through the world, the way they breathe when you're near, the way their entire nervous system recalibrates around your presence. Research from Norway, where scientists have spent decades studying canine attachment in the land of long winters and close quarters, reveals something most of us miss. Dogs form hierarchical emotional bonds. Not all humans in a household register the same way in a dog's heart. There's a difference between the person they live with and the person they would follow into the dark. The person they obey and the person whose absence creates a hole in the fabric of their day. You might share your home with your dog, but if they've marked you as special, you've become something else entirely. You've become their axis, the point around which their whole world spins. So how do you know? How do you recognize when you've been chosen? The signs are everywhere once you start looking. Written in body language most people scroll past. In behaviors we mistake for neediness or coincidence. But these aren't accidents. They're declarations. Love made visible in the only language your dog knows how to speak. The first sign lives in their feet, in the quiet padding of paws from room to room. You stand up to get water, and they stand too. You move to the bedroom, and they follow. You step outside for 30 seconds to grab the mail, and they're at the door waiting for you to come back. This isn't clinginess. This isn't separation anxiety or boredom. This is proximity-seeking behavior, and it's one of the oldest pack-bonding instincts a dog possesses. In the wild, wolves stay close to their chosen pack members because distance means vulnerability. It means disconnection from the unit that keeps them alive. Your dog isn't following you because they think something exciting might happen in the bathroom. They're following you because when you leave their sight, a tiny part of their brain whispers that the center of their universe just disappeared. You're not just their owner. You're their compass, the North Star they navigate by, and they'd rather walk in circles around you than face a room where you don't exist. The second sign is heavier, literally. It happens when you're standing still, maybe doing dishes or talking to someone, and suddenly you feel it. Weight, pressure. Your dog has moved close and leaned their entire body against your legs. Not bumping, not nudging for attention, just leaning. Pressing into you like they're trying to merge, to become part of your foundation. Canine body language researchers have studied this for years, and the conclusion is clear. Leaning is trust made physical. It's a dog saying, without words, that they're willing to put their balance in your hands, that they believe you'll hold them steady. In a dog's world, balance is survival. Being off-kilter means being vulnerable. And yet they choose to tip their weight into you, again and again, because you've become more important than stability. You've become the thing that keeps them stable. It's their way of saying, I need you to hold me up. Not because they're weak, but because loving you has made them willing to be. The third sign happens in the quietest hours. When the house goes dark and the day finally releases its grip, you settle into bed or onto the couch, and your dog circles once, twice, then drops down beside you. But pay attention to how they land. Are they facing outward, guarding you? Are they curled tight with their back pressed against your leg? Are they sprawled on their side, belly exposed, throat open to the ceiling? These positions aren't random. Dogs only expose vulnerable body parts near those they trust completely. The belly, the throat, the spine. These are the kill zones, the places a predator would target first. And your dog is showing them to you freely, in the dark, when every instinct should tell them to stay protected. Sleep is when all masks fall, when the performance of the day dissolves and what's left is just truth. And your dog's truth is this: they choose to fall asleep as their truest, most defenseless self with you, not near you by accident, with you by design. Because you've proven, 1,000 times over, that you're the one place in the world where they don't have to be on guard. The fourth sign is written in the seconds after you've been apart. You walk through the door after an hour, after 8 hours, after 5 minutes, and your dog doesn't just wag their tail, they explode. Their greeting for you is different. You can feel it. It's longer, more intense, full body. Not just the tail, but the whole spine wiggling. Not just excitement, but desperation mixed with relief, mixed with joy so pure it looks like it might shatter them. Studies on oxytocin, the bonding hormone, show that dogs experience measurable love surges when reuniting with their bonded human. Their brain floods with the same chemical that makes mothers weep when they hold their newborns. That's what's happening in your dog's body when you come home. A chemical proof that you've been missed in ways that transcend time. It doesn't matter if you were gone for 10 minutes or 10 hours. The math is irrelevant to them. You were gone. Now you're back. And every hello is proof that the bond didn't break while you were away, that you still belong to each other, that the world didn't take you from them. These signs aren't loud. They don't demand your attention the way a bark or a whine does. They live in the background of your daily life, easy to miss if you're not watching for them. But they're there. Constant. Unwavering. Your dog has been speaking this language since the day they decided you were special. The question is whether you've been listening, because these are just the surface marks, the visible proof of something much deeper. There are other signs, quieter ones, that live in the margins of your life together, in the pauses, in what your dog does when they think you're not watching. And those signs will tell you the rest of the story. The part about what it really means to be loved by a creature who chose you out of all the humans in the world and decided you were worth organizing their entire existence around. The deepest marks aren't the ones you see coming. They're not the enthusiastic greetings or the constant following. They're smaller, quieter. They happen in the spaces between action, in the moments when your dog thinks the performance is over and what's left is just the raw truth of how they feel about you. These are the signs that live in stillness, in silence, in the architecture of how your dog has built their entire emotional world around the fact that you exist in it. And if you've been marked as truly special, these quieter signs will be there, waiting for you to notice them. The fifth sign lives in their eyes. Not just that they look at you, but how they look at you. You're sitting on the couch or working at the table, and you feel it before you see it. That weight of attention. You glance over and your dog is staring, not with urgency or expectation, just watching. Their eyes are soft, their face relaxed, and they're holding your gaze longer than feels normal, longer than makes sense if they wanted something from you. This isn't about food or walks or play. This is something else entirely. Scientists studying canine-human bonding have discovered something remarkable. When dogs and humans lock eyes, both brains release oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds mothers to babies, the same chemical signature of love that humans have been measuring for generations. But here's what makes it extraordinary. Dogs are the only non-primate species that seek out eye contact with humans this way. Wolves don't do it. Even hand-raised wolves avoid sustained eye contact with their human caretakers. But dogs, somewhere across 15,000 years of evolution, learn to gaze. And they don't gaze at everyone. Norwegian researchers tracking this phenomenon found that dogs only sustain deep eye contact with humans they've emotionally imprinted on, the ones they've selected as theirs. When your dog looks at you like that, soft and long and unwavering, they're not just seeing you, they're feeling you. That gaze is a bridge, a direct line between their heart and yours. And every second they hold it, they're choosing to stay connected. The sixth sign comes wrapped in strange packages. You're sitting in your spot, and your dog approaches. In their mouth is something. A toy, yes, but also sometimes a sock, a stick from outside, a piece of paper they found somewhere. Once, inexplicably, a shoe they've never shown interest in before. And they don't want to play, They just place it near you, at your feet, in your lap, on the couch cushion next to your leg. Then they back up slightly and wait, watching to see what you'll do with their offering. To most people, this looks like play behavior, an invitation to toss the ball or tug the rope, but animal behaviorists see something different. Resource sharing in canines is rare. Dogs are descended from scavengers and hunters, creatures who understood that food and valuable objects meant survival. Sharing those resources doesn't come naturally. It's reserved for pack members of the highest emotional value. When your dog brings you things, they're not asking you to play. They're offering. They're taking something they value, something that matters in their world, and giving it to you. Because you've become the center of that world, the point around which all valuable things orbit. They're giving you pieces of their universe because you've become the most important thing in it. And every gift, no matter how odd or small, is them saying the same thing over and over. This matters to me, and you matter more. The seventh sign is the one most people never consciously notice. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It happens in your presence versus your absence. Watch your dog when you're in the room. Really watch, notice how they breathe, how they settle, how their whole body seems to soften, like tension you didn't know they were carrying just melted away. They sigh, deep, long exhales that sound almost human. They sleep harder, twitching less, startling at nothing. When you leave, even if someone else stays behind, something shifts. They pace more. They check the door. Their sleep is lighter, interrupted. Scientists measuring cortisol levels in dogs have found something beautiful and heartbreaking. Dogs experience measurable stress reduction in proximity to their bonded person. Not just any person, the person. You can put them in a chaotic environment, a vet's office, a room full of strangers, and if their special human is there, their cortisol drops. Their heart rate steadies. The nervous system that was screaming calm down finds a way to listen. Because you're not just their favorite, you're their peace, the biological off switch for their anxiety. The presence that tells their body it's safe to stop scanning for danger. You've become the answer to a question their brain is always asking. Am I okay right now? And when you're near, the answer is always yes. There's something profound in being chosen this way, something that goes beyond pet ownership or companionship. Dogs don't mark people as special because of what we do for them. It's not about who feeds them or who buys the best toys. It's something more primal, more instinctive. It's about whose energy feels like home, whose presence creates safety, whose absence creates a hole that nothing else can fill. In Norway, there's a word that doesn't translate perfectly into English. Trygghet. It means security, but deeper. It means the feeling of being so safe that you can be vulnerable, so protected that you can rest. It's the feeling a child has when they're held by someone who loves them completely. And it's the feeling your dog has when you're near. They understand Trygghet without language, without explanation. They feel it in their bones. And when they've marked you as special, you've become their source of it. The only place in the world where they can be small and scared and tired and still know they'll be okay. This isn't a one-way street. Being marked as special comes with weight, with responsibility, because your dog isn't just loving you, they're organizing their entire emotional universe around you. They're building their sense of safety on the foundation of your presence. And that means your absence matters. Your attention matters. The consistency of your energy matters. You can't be their peace if you're unpredictable. You can't be their compass if you're always pointing in different directions. But here's the gift in that responsibility. The more you honor what you've become to them, the deeper the bond grows. The more you notice these signs and respond to them, the more your dog learns that their love language is being heard, that their silent declarations are landing, that the way they've chosen to love you is seen and understood and valued. So tonight, when your dog settles near you, watch them. Notice if they sigh, if they lean, if they watch you with those soft eyes that hold more love than most humans will ever put into words. Notice if they brought you something, if they sleep with their belly exposed, if their whole body seems to exhale when you're close. These aren't accidents. These aren't habits or training or coincidence. These are choices. Every single one. Your dog wakes up every day and chooses you again. chooses to follow, to lean, to gift, to gaze, to find their calm in your chaos. And all they're asking in return is that you see it, that you understand what it means to be loved by a creature who doesn't know how to love halfway. Which of these signs does your dog show you most? Because being your dog's special person isn't just a privilege. It's a responsibility to see them as clearly as they see you, to honor the bond they've built by paying attention to the language they speak. Your dog's love is the purest thing you'll ever receive, and it deserves to be understood.